Hi, my name is Vanessa Whitnell and I'm doing the School of Engineering. And through my research thus far, I have discovered that Thomas Alva Edison donated dynamo to the University of Missouri in 1882. But I always wanted to know why. What connection does Thomas Edison have with the School of Engineering at Mizzou? Well, let me begin with Samuel L. Laws, the university president in the 1870s, a former ordained Presbyterian minister who spent several months in federal prison for reasons I hope to uncover later. After his release and prior to his presidency at Mizzou, Laws traveled to New York to become vice president of the New York Gold Exchange in 1863. At this time, speculation in gold was at its peak. Laws, who had creative inventive abilities, invented an electrically operated quotation indicator for the forerunner of the present-day stock ticker. This device was rented out to brokers at the exchange, but one day something went wrong with the controlling equipment. The brokers failed to get the watched-for quotations, and near panic was on. Purely by accident, Laws met a genius who would eventually sell him. The 16-year-old Thomas Edison was in New York, trying to land a job as a telegraph operator for Western Union. That particular day, when Laws' device failed to operate, Edison happened to visit the exchange. It did not take very long for Edison to discover and point out to Laws the cause of the device's failure. At Laws' request, Edison made the necessary repairs and was hired on the spot at a very highly paid salary to supervise the Laws gold reporting telegraph. Fast forward 20 years and we have Professor Benjamin Franklin Thomas, the first professor at Mizzou to teach electrical engineering. Professor Thomas was fully aware of the commercial possibilities of Alexander Graham Bell's 4-year-old telephone and of Edison's incandescent lamp, which had just been exhibited in New York. Thankfully, Laws' appreciation for science and his relations with Edison made it possible for Laws to appeal directly to Edison and request dynamo and incandescent lamps in the spring of 1882. Professor Thomas and his students set up the equipment in the basement of the academic building, making it the first building west of the Mississippi River to receive incandescent electrical lighting. Although the electrical lighting brought much attention and popularity to Mizzou, it would actually be the cause of Academic Hall's destruction. On Saturday evening, January 9th of 1892, Academic Hall burned to the ground due to faulty wiring in the basement. The fire completely gutted the building by midnight, only leaving the 6 limestone columns that currently stand on Mizzou's quad today. After the fire, there was a campaign to move the university to Sedalia. However, the Columbia residents were able to rally against the move by raising $50,000 to construct the beginning of what we now know as Jesse Hall, named after the president of the university, during which the burning of Academic Hall ensued. An interesting fact I discovered, the Board of Curators in August of 1893 issued a resolution to have the columns destroyed, but the citizens of Columbia protested. A licensed architect assured Columbia's citizens that the columns posed no threat regarding safety, which resulted in the Board of Curators' changed decision in December of 1893 to allow the columns' continued existence. Now back to the School of Engineering. Professor Thomas continued on to installing the first telephone line in Columbia, Missouri. With his interesting works and courses taught by Professor Thomas, the number of students in physics more than doubled that following year in 1884. Professor Thomas continued with his fascination with physics by urging the university to establish an electrical engineering program under the School of Engineering, which was eventually established in 1885. So, after all of this research, I've been able to answer my question: what was the reasoning behind Edison's donation to the University of Missouri? Well, it began with the Presbyterian minister named Laws, who befriended a teeny bopper named Thomas Edison, who was able to quickly fix Laws' broken contraption. Because of this friendship, Laws was able to ask Edison for his dynamo at the request of Professor Thomas, whose major contributions in physics and engineering led to the development of electrical engineering. So there you have it. Edison was a nice, smart genius who donated to Mizzou at the request of his pal, the university president of Mizzou, during the time which of the donation. From here, I hope to uncover more about Thomas Edison and his other connections to engineering.